light. Why even play with your life? Bank account looking like yikes. I went from feeling all kites to putting it in my block. New Gucci sweater is drill. Somebody give me a. These ain't like the cops. Gossiping more than a. In jail I had. I make you cut off the. Think that I made it, they can't be my friends, so they wanna be ops. If I see them hating and I'm in that spaceship, I'm dropping the top. Ain't like my beat ain't no happy belated, I'm counting the guap. Who gave you a voice? Who told you your thoughts count? GPS straight to the money. I put my big homie up. The big Mickey Mouse. You posted your at 12 and 8 that night, she had my all over the mansion. Can't sit on my house. I got that check and took off. A lot of these look lost. They broke. They think it's my fault. No court. I want that.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. A few minutes ago, the hometown Jets were introduced to this sellout crowd, and it's a roar that could be heard across the river in Manhattan. They're set to go as their Jets will match up with the Buffalo Bills. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. This fielded at the 2. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. And right away, he lost the football. And the Bills have recovered.
As you and I both know, one reason teams script plays to start a game is so they can practice them ahead of time. I will guarantee you, that fumble was not in the script.
You don't think they had fumble written next to play one there?
No, that was never in the script because they want to have good memories when they go into a ball game, not something that could have gone wrong.
First trip to the red zone for the Bills. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. They'll run with a backup. This is Williams. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. And he's going to drop this off to Williams. Complete. And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll lead here to a 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And Hauschka's kick is good. And the Bills will take a 3-0 lead. So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field.
Definitely a lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
This fielded at the 2. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And last time they coughed it up. Led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal and they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive? A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown, but they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it down there and punch in the end zone without turning it over.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets 1st down.
Good!
A first down throw, Darnold. Trying to get it to Ebron, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. He has been interception-prone here in his rookie season. How patient can they be with him?
That is the key question, isn't it? A lot of it depends on the head coach, what type of defense you have, and just a general understanding of the makeup of him. But the bottom line is you posed a great question. Are they at the stage where they've run out of patience and now they get to demand production? Or do you continue to stay with him this way?
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down. Travaris Cadet, his first carry. And his first carry, he loses the football. 2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's second down.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Allen looks to throw on second down. This will be caught inside the 10. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. They'll try low for it on first and goal. He pushes forward for maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. On second down, here's Allen. And that will be caught by Jones. He's got a Buffalo touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bills will add on to their lead. Hauschka with the extra point. And the lead grows to 10-0. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. And New York set to take the field. To this point, the results have not been good. 2 possessions, 2 turnovers.
And that's obviously something that can't continue, but to go a little bit deeper on that one, I would think about some play calls now, not even necessarily to my best player, but to someone I can trust with the ball. Try and get things settled down a little bit.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Leopard.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face. These lessons, the key for this guy is, will he be able to bounce back in the next one? Because right now, this has not been his game.
Second and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack.
Here we go, gotta go.
Second down, Bridgewater. A little dump off for Corral. And down he'll go at the 25. 6 yards on the pickup, and they're going to face a third down.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have that center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
Hurry up.
Play action now. Bridgewater. On the move to his left. Now he'll turn and throw deep back to the other side of the field. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. Back onto the field now comes the Bills offense. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
To the air, Allen. And he'll go out of bounds across the 35-yard line. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. Second quarter. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. Finding some room at midfield. And all the way down to the 33-yard line. All told, it's an even 30 and a 1st down.
Well, plenty of credit has to go to the guy carrying the ball. He broke the tackle and gained the yardage. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the defender is bad. They're not going to make 100% of the tackles all the time. Even the best in the game will miss one occasionally. The key is not to let it snowball and miss tackle after tackle. On that play, credit to the offense, but that doesn't make the defense bad.
Wide open receiver complete. And he carries this one all the way down to the 9. That one goes for 24 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Khalil Mack in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. Allen now to throw on 2nd down. And he can't hang on. That's definitely going to be one he wishes he had back. Incomplete in the end zone.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Allen now on 3rd and goal. Boy stays up. But in the end, the pressure too great, and he goes down. Steve McClendon able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down. And Hauschka's kick is good. And that'll push the lead up to 13-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
Now the Jets offense gets ready to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Get set, get set.
Now a first carry for the backup, Isaiah Crowell. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Gotta go.
Bridgewater now looking to throw on first. And they take him down. The Bills get to him. Michael Bennett in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Now they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Five down.
The second down throw for Bridgewater. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. Now this is picked up by the Bills. And this drive will start on the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line.
Well, partner, they went empty set there. No backs in the backfield. All receivers out in the pattern. And in this situation, you know what the quarterback has to do? Act as his own blitz control.
Yeah, he's got nobody else there to protect him.
No one else there to protect, which means he's got to get rid of the football and absorb the hit, but not go down and fumble the ball.
Here's Allen following the fumble recovery. Open man here is Scott, complete. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. To throw on 2nd down, Allen. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Jaleel Scott with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Bills will extend their lead. So that's the rookie's first trip to the end zone, and I think it's safe to say one he'll always remember.
Oh, without a doubt. That one is going to be imprinted forever. And nowadays, we're seeing rookies make a greater impact at that position at receiver than ever before. I think mainly because of the sheer volume of footballs that they catch in college.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. Bridgewater now on 2nd down.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? leverage, athleticism. They created some nice space for him.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. On 3rd down, Bridgewater. And down he goes. The pressure getting to Bridgewater.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer. Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta. That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
It's taken to the 26. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the Bills will take over the football with a 1st and 10. Around the NFL, second quarter in Indianapolis. It's the Colts in that one that have grabbed the early lead. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Allen on 1st and 10. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack. Khalil Mack in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. On 2nd down, Williams. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Now the Jets are going to burn another timeout as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. He'll field this at the 5. That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And the Jets offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. And now out come the Jets. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half.
And that's caught inside the 30. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. First down, Bridgewater. Underneath for Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. From the shotgun, it's Bridgewater. And that's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. Eric Ebron, the big tight end, is intended target. And it's 3rd down. In need of a conversion on 3rd down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense. And again, it's Bridgewater. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Antonio Callaway with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Jets are able to close the gap just a bit. Santos able to tack on the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. Here's Taiwan Jones on the return. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. And here come the Bills. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And he's going to be taken down here as that will lead us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime with the visiting Bills taking the lead to the locker room. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, now Jones. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Bills now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, I feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Leopard!
On first down, Allen. The Jets pressure too much as down he goes.
They need to stop to get back into this game, and here's one right to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anytime you go to the lockers with that 2-3 score deficit, you're right. You need that stop, get the football back, and they've done just that.
Series to series, play to play.
Looking to throw on second down. Allen. Over the middle, that's caught by Scott. A good pickup there, 26 yards. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Leopard!
Allen again here on 2nd and 10. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
From midfield, here's Allen. He's going to rifle one deep left side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Darryl Roberts right there on the coverage. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise, because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
So here's the Jets offense now as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance really to set the tone here in quarter 3.
They can really take charge, can't they? And this is probably how it was drawn up at the half. I think we can go inside the locker room, all right? And I think we would see up on the grease boards, stop them defensively, get the ball back from the offense, and let's go downfield and score. Seems simple, right? The last part, we have to find out if that's going to happen. But the first part worked to perfection. Did exactly what they wanted, and now their offense has to pay it off.
See if they can get the latter 50%.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now Bridgewater. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Trying to get that one to his tight end, and they've been trying to get the ball to him, but as of yet, unable to successfully complete one. But you know there's usually a nice comfort zone in throwing to the tight end. Great sight lines, usually right in the middle of the field.
The Jets on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, Bridgewater. Flush to his right. Now he's hit, and Bridgewater loses the football. And the Bills have recovered.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. The defense gets in the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal.
3-19! 3-19! Detroit! Detroit!
And here's Allen. Following the fumble recovery, he'll throw. And that will be caught by Jones. He's got a Buffalo touchdown. In for the score. And the Bills use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Antonio Callaway with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Jets are able to cut into this deficit. Santos with the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. Now Jones. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now out come the Bills. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch, counter punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm. You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
We'll see if they dial it up this drive. They go back to Cadet. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down. The Bills on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. They'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
It's a team game, but sometimes individuals do stand out, don't they? How about that for a twofer? Tackle for a loss on the running play on the previous down, and then comes right back and gets a sack.
And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one. This is taken around the 12. A very good return that time. 18 yards. And the Jets will take over 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One-play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one-play drive's exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was real easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here. And he's got this one complete to Callaway. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains. He's certainly been a huge factor in this one. He's got the 2 touchdowns to his credit. Now they look to him again. He picks up the first.
Yeah, I can hear everyone saying, well, why don't you cover him, double him, triple him, do what you have to do. But sometimes they get locked into such a groove and such a connection, it doesn't matter how many guys are in his area.
He certainly looks to be in that groove right now.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. Buying time to his left. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 10 yards is the pickup. Good enough for a Jet 1st down. Back now here on EA Sports. It's Jet football, but they trail here as we start the 4th quarter. So 1st and 10 now in Buffalo territory at the 43. A 1st down throw for Bridgewater. Being chased out left. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead, he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Bridgewater. Completing it to the right side, Johnson. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
Got a man, it's caught. Touchdown, Jets. Eric Ebron, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Jets are able to make this a close game again. Yeah, he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Santos able to tack on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bills getting set to go. This game is really flipped on its head. 2 unanswered touchdowns by the other side, and now they take over here with just a very slim 1-score lead.
And we've seen this how many times now? Teams get a big lead, they go into coast mode, and all of a sudden they're scrambling and battling for a win down the stretch.
And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes.
This offensive line flat out cannot handle this pass rush. We've seen it demonstrated time and time again to the tune of 7 sacks in this game thus far.
Now Allen throwing on 2nd down. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Khalil Mack in there to get him, and that's sack number 12 for him on the year. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. On 3rd and long, it's Allen throwing deep here for Coleman. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Buster Screen. And his guys are going to get the football at their own 47-yard line. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Following the interception, here's Bridgewater. He gets it left side to Johnson. 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Duke Johnson, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jets are an extra point away from leading this game. Santos with the extra point. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. Santos out now. He'll kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And we have seen a lot on the scoreboard here in this quarter. So sometimes you talk to me about tendency breakers on offense. These defenses struggling. Are there tendency breakers on defense?
All defensive coordinators keep something in their hip pocket for these types of situations. What can we do to slow down the onslaught? But the biggest thing is making sure these guys encourage each other, pick themselves up, because right now it's been a really tough ball game trying to stop these offenses.
Oh, it really has, especially as of late.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Leopard, Leopard.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 2 yards on the pickup there, but it's enough to give them a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the 1st down.
Allen now on 1st down. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56. Here we go. Blue 90.
Allen will try again on 2nd down. Room to run past midfield. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. It's a pickup of 17 on that one, and a Bills 1st down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this.
Leopard, Leopard.
They'll run it now out of the gun. A strong running. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
I like the call there because that was one to take time off the clock and get them closer to getting out of here with a W. In the mind of the play caller, all you want to hear is tick, tick, tick.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo 1st down.
Pardon, you got to like what they're doing right there. Little by little, they're getting closer. Another good pickup.
Leopard, gone! Gone! Back 99 Philly, here we go.
Back to throw. And an alley to run. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Now, that was not a bad scramble there on 1st down. He didn't force it, nor did he throw it away. He was able to take off, and now he made it a very manageable 2nd and short.
They'll look to throw. This one complete to Coleman. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Now here's a timeout defensively. Defensive timeout called by the Jets. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Back to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
A score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is and it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by the linebacker, Kevin Minter, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Here's Hauschka now to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. Oh, he's got some breathing room. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20. And he's going to take it all the way into the end zone. What a return, and they've taken the lead. You and I have seen a lot of special comebacks. This one pretty much unbelievable. Roaring all the way back from that huge deficit, now in the driver's seat.
Take the numbers out of it. It seemed insurmountable. It seemed monumental, like no chance you could get that done, but they did. Let's go back to the 92 NFL season, 93 playoffs. Houston, Buffalo, in Buffalo. Houston with the monster lead, and here come the Bills all the way back to win it.
Led by Frank Reich, correct?
Yes, Frank Reich was the quarterback. He had done it in college a few times. He did it in the pros with the Bills. How old were you then?
I was 10, but I remember it. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bills offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. They only need a field goal. Obviously, the clock a huge factor. They'll be watching that. What do they need to do here, Charles?
Your sequence of plays has to get you out of bounds. Completions, get out of bounds, gain some yardage. Then when the clock hits 7 seconds or left, now you get a decision. Are you in field goal range or is it Hail Mary time? Because from 7 seconds down, you don't want to take a shot that you're going to have another play.
We'll see how they handle it. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Leopard! Leopard! Gone! 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 All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Gone! 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 Gone!
He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. There defensively was Buster's screen to knock it away. This defense hasn't had the best showing in this game, but a critical knockdown there. If they can hang on, I guess the end will kind of justify the means.
Certainly, and just think of it this way. It may not be the quantity of the plays that they've had, because those haven't been great, but they get a few more quality ones like that. That could finish things off for them.
He's back to throw. And that will be incomplete with a clock down now to 13 seconds. The intended target was Corey Coleman. Third down here. Trying to squeeze it in there at this stage of the game. You got to take some chances. Nice job to knock it away, though.
You're so right. Understanding where they are in the game, you've got to take that opportunity and maybe thread the needle. Unable to get it done there.
To the air. Allen. He finds Coleman. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. And now the timeout call. So 5 seconds left, and a field goal would send us to overtime. So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. So now here comes the field goal team for the third time today. This to potentially send us to overtime. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds. And now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I, we're going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. Set for their first drive here in overtime, and this is where the crowd can really become a factor.
They've had to battle it all day, but I know what you're saying. In overtime, that gets doubled, doesn't it? At least, because now the crowd really wants to be involved and help their team, and that first drive can dictate the...
Oh, and it's intercepted! Picked off by Buster Screen. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. A costly mistake here in OT.
And you know what they say, when you throw an interception like that in overtime? You don't usually get a chance to throw a second one. I mean, I'm not sure the analytics on it. Let's ask Marvin, our statistician, to ring that down for us. That's typically how coaches and teams feel about it. If you throw one, you likely cost yourself the game.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll take it down to the 30-yard line. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Again, it's Johnson. And he'll fall forward to the 29-yard line. Star Latulele in on the tackle.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. Now the Bills will take another timeout. They'll be left with just one remaining here at OT. And now prior to this 3rd and 1, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll be down to just one remaining as we step aside here in overtime. The Jets on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. What can Bridgewater do in the OT? This is Johnson. He's got it. A second shot. He's into the end zone for the touchdown and the game winner in OT. A partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some overtime, a little whipped cream on top.
Look at you, trying to make this whole thing palatable.
I just want you to pay for my meal later.
You really just wanted 4 quarters what you wanted. But how much fun was that? We had that type of a game where we got us to overtime, and then we get the dramatic ending to finish things off as well. What a game.
So for the Jets, it's a win that might keep them alive in the playoff race as they're back to 500 at 5-5. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again. Meanwhile, for the Bills, they're going the wrong way as this will drop them to 3-7 now on the year. And they'll get a late bye next week, which might be coming at the right time. And they'll be back in action in Week 12. And for Charles...